everyone has their own opinion of our education system. That's correct. As a father, as a student, as a brother, sister, everyone has their opinion. But at the end of the day, we want to look at where we have to be. So I want to ask you this question. Why is it in certain countries in Europe, they don't even have examinations anymore? For example, in UK, if you play Minecraft, if you move from level 1 to level 2, that's already an exam. And that's already a skills being tested, and that's already a learning phase. So we're not there yet, but where do you want us to go very soon, and how would it be? Because for TN50 discussion, we cannot talk about now, we have to talk about the future, and the future of education in your eyes.
So the education system is a very critical pillar for any national development. And I would say that it's always been challenging to come up with the best education system. But it has never been as challenging as this. Because like for the reasons that I already mentioned, how do you prepare kids not for skills but for mindset? How do you prepare them to think in a world that we don't even know what it holds? So it's very easy to just be what I call crippled into inaction by just the sheer scale of what needs to be done. So as government or as a government agency, and for me, I came from the private sector. I've only been 3 years in the government. And I've taken a very simple, me and my team at MDAC, we've taken a very simple position to this. We can either just sit back and join the chorus, and I'm not talking about Malaysia, yeah? I mean, every country in the world is facing the same challenge. Join the chorus of, oh, it's difficult, this is that, this is that. It's difficult to change. Like I said, Rome is not built in one day. You cannot boil the ocean in one day. But the position we're taking is that let's do something about it. And what we are doing to lay the foundation is that number one, we've got to make sure that it is not just about, even in Malaysia, there's a lot of programs in the past, private sector, in government, you do program, there's coding here, there is some competition there, robotics there, and it's done by the private sector and also some elements from the government. But we've always felt that it has to be, the kesenambungan must be there. So you've got to go right into the system. And that is why I feel the most significant policy that the country had last year. And this is, again, like I said, it is really the Minister of Education who had actually taken the bold step of doing this, to embed computational thinking and computer science as a school curriculum. We are one of the first countries in the region, if not in the world, to do this as a formal education. But it cannot be done at 10,000 schools, 450,000 teachers. You cannot do it overnight. But instead of us saying that, oh my God, 450,000 teachers are not supporting. But think about that one teacher. It's a real case. One teacher from Kapit in Sarawak, who the school doesn't have the budget to actually teach her on how to deliver computational thinking and computer science to her students. She took her own initiative, paid her own money to take a boat and a bus, take leave to go and get that training in UNIMAS, then went back to teach her students accordingly. So I think, and that is my position, you cannot be crippled into inaction just by saying, oh my God, the problem is so big. But we pick, we choose. And I think we have got the foundation. Now it's a matter of execution.
So conclusion is, don't wait, get empowered.
Do something.
Jangan tunggu, hulurkan tangan. MDAC ada. Soalan pertama.
My name is Adura Kamarul Zaman. I'm also a co-owner of a digital company. What we do is we do online media. We had Bestari Net and all that. So what has happened to, the next step to that, if I may ask?
Okay.
Yeah.
Datuk, maybe we take one more question and then we answer that together. Oh, you want to come up? Okay, come down.
Come on up, young man. Come on.
Come on, tak apa.
Our future leader
We
in the
have
year
to break
2050.
the mold, right? Okay, introduce yourself.
My name is Muhammad Danish bin Anwar. How do we control our education system? Because there are some negativity of this education in our school, such that our students will be playing games all the time and not studying about the education. So how could we control it?
Okay, Datuk, 2 questions for you.
Okay, so I think there are 2 questions. I think the one is on, and both are kind of related. I think one is around infrastructure. Yeah, I mean there are 10,000 schools in the country. Getting infrastructure readiness, even for the most advanced of countries, unless you're a small little country, you know, is a challenge, right? So, and that is what the key focus right now for Ministry of Education. And again, the question from Muhammad Danish, right? Danish. It's about how do you control. And again, I want to encourage. Of course, we are taking all this feedback, right? But my advice is that, you know, you don't control other things that you cannot control. You can be in control of your own destiny. So how do we control what other people are doing? It's difficult. But if there is negativity and you are faced with the negativity, then you can then create an alternate narrative. You know, you are in control. With the power of social media right now, there's a negativity that will always continue. But where is the positivity? You know, if you look today in this room, right? You look in this room, there is so much positivity in the sense that, first of all, yes, there is a government agency that's doing this. And, you know, chances are we will continue doing this every year. Because I hear from parents saying that they want this every year. And I think there's also a need, definitely a need for this to be brought throughout the country. There are 32 digital maker hubs, a miniature of this. So if you cannot find those in your school, and while the government tries to solve this humongous, you know, education system, and like I said, it's not only Malaysia, everywhere, right? Everywhere, every country is facing with this. Let's focus on what you can do. So this is something that is outside of the system. I mean, what you can do as parents and as students, go and ask your school. Have they embraced computational thinking and computer science curriculum in the school? Ask that. At the PIBG, ask, have the teachers been trained? Because remember, yeah, it is not, if you are in primary school, we have got what we call the unplugged version. Maksudnya kalau your sekolah tak ada computers pun, it's okay because it's about thinking skills. We have curriculum mengatakan if you teach geography, how do you use the concepts of algorithm to learn geography? So in the primary school, we do have the unplugged version. But in the, you know, like we had an example of 3 boys from Miri. This is an example. Their school, they live like 30 minutes away or 3 hours away from their school. They don't have computers. Their school don't have a computer lab. But they come to school every day 2 hours early to pinjam cikgu dia punya computer. And you know apa dia invention dia? Sebab mak bapak dia buat peladang kelapa sawit. Dia tengok mak bapak dia duk asyik separate out yang kelapa sawit punya biji tu, buah kelapa sawit tu, yang mana yang dah masak, yang mana yang spot, yang mana yang mentah. Oh, ini kata color. Based on color. So they created a color recognition, intelligent color recognition system that is able to do a visual color punya recognition and separate out the palm oil kernels accordingly. So there are ways to do it. There are ways to do it. So I think the best thing, my advice as a parent, you know, to be able to say what can you control. While you voice out, yes, we hear you. You voice out all these concerns, and trust me, these concerns are being listened to. But it's not that easy trying to change things overnight. You know, but in the meantime, at least I can offer to you to say that you don't have to be crippled into inaction. You can do something about it. The parents who are here today are doing something about it, taking advantage of what's available instead of just focusing on what's not available.
I guess, Dato, I want to steer the conversation also. If we want them to be innovators, if we want our kids not just to be consumers and users, bukan hanya jadi pengguna, tapi juga jadi penerbit, pengeluar. Orang yang mengeluarkan sesuatu, it must start with the mind. And the first thing that they must have in their mind is, do not be afraid of failure. Who here would not get angry if their sons or daughters doesn't get an A? Because right now, we can blame the system, but we ourselves, if the student doesn't get A's, not good enough. We look at A's, but A's doesn't mean they can communicate well. Collaborative economy means you not only must know how to communicate what's inside you, but to understand and empathize with the rest around you. So I want to ask this, daring to make mistake, having to need to have failures. I have interviewed many venture capitalists, including Calpers from California, the biggest pension fund. They told me they're not going to bring 50 billion over US dollar to Malaysia if the company they are investing in have never made mistakes. So that's my question to you. Our society sometimes we want so much to be perfect that we do not tolerate mistakes. We don't accept them.
Yeah, so again, you know, it goes back to what can we do as parents first and foremost. So like what Cam mentioned is the fact that the world is changing, you know, the future of work is changing. It's not only about the actual work, but it's also about, in the world of innovation, okay, you need to have ideation. And I'll give you an example of a boy, Form 5 boy, okay, and when we uncovered him, how we uncovered him was in a hackathon. Dia datang sendiri tau, dengan bus, datang join one of our hackathons that we did. And dia buat hackathon tu, sampai the industry players were saying, where did this boy learn? Mana dia belajar IoT programming, Internet of Things programming. Dia belajar secara sendiri. So we uncovered him, so through our digital maker, kan, this is what we do. We uncover these kids. So when we uncovered him, we put him through the whole nurturing punya program. He is now when we got him, when we discovered him, he only got a scholarship, 25% scholarship, to go to a university that is not even in the Malaysian top rating, to do a course that is not related to computer technology or digital technology at all. But after we have uncovered him, we channeled him to a university, and he is now taking a computer engineering course in the top university in Malaysia, one of the top university in Malaysia, with 100% scholarship. And you know what? This guy is not A, B. In fact, he's a BC boy. Maria, he's getting B's and C's, right?
Yeah.
Now, would you accept that? Would you accept your children if they get that? So my point is that, kan, like you say, kita kena accept failure. That's one, that is an ultimate step, right? But yang sekarang ni pun, as parents with kids in school, I'm not saying that you should not try for academic excellence.
Kalau
of course you should.
Bagus.
Tapi kalau tak dapat, kita kena more holistic. In fact, dekat universiti sekarang, University of Higher Education dengan Datuk Seri Idris Jusso, he is now creating this thing called, I think, CGPA. ICGPA, right? Which is, the I is more inclusive, not only about academic, it's about how you are in leadership, how you are in creativity, how you are in extracurricular. So I think government is making those steps.
Correct.
But it's not that easy, but it's something that kita kena buat bersama-sama.
Peer review is very important. Whenever I take a flight back to KLIA, I always take the bus, not the train, because I want to meet as many foreigners. And how the heck do they know where is the bus? It's not easy. I bet if I ask some of you, you also don't know. But we have to hear from a mother who have done and gone through this. Jacqueline, over to you.
Yeah. Jacqueline, by the way, Wenji, I don't know where Wenji is. Wenji, are you here?
Wenji.
Okay, he's somewhere. The last time I saw him, he was actually mentoring a group of parents.
Never mind,
okay,
we get
but
the mother
this is Jacqueline, Wenji's mother.
Hi, name is Jacqueline. So I don't have a question, but I just wanted to share with everyone.
Yeah,
is,
just share.
When my son started doing app, he actually learned everything from YouTube. So during that time, he was only 12 years old. He came to me and he said, I've managed to learn to successfully build an app. I told him, that's so impossible. You didn't go to school, you're just at home, you didn't go to computer science school, you're just going to normal schools, you didn't do any proper education. And he said, well, mommy, I've learned it from YouTube tutorials. And it was just an eye-opener for me that that is where the future generation is going to. We as a parent, we have to support the children, in their interests, to see their passion, where they lies. Because when he was so, into YouTube, I was just scolding him. Like what Dato' Yasmin was saying, scolding his son. I was scolding him, I said, don't waste so much of time on YouTube, okay? You're just wasting your time. But today when I look back, that was just 2 years ago. Today when I look back, it was my mistake for scolding him. He was actually doing proper education,
Jackie,
based on his own passion.
In the interest of time, are you not worried about whether he gets A's or not in his exams?
At first, 2 years ago, I was so worried. I only tell him, focus on UPSR exam. I want to see all A's. But after what he has developed, and all these apps that he has developed, it only tells me, education is not just academic results. Because with what he has built in his apps, he has moved out of his school syllabus, learning more than what, the teacher is teaching him in school. And that is just so great,
On behalf of all Malaysians, thank you for allowing him to do that.
And Wan-Ji has got a full scholarship now to go and study, and at the same time, that he has recently, I know this because I keep track of all of these young talented kids, right?
I believe you.
You know what he did? He's actually managed to hack into a company that was doing robotics. He hacked into the system and developed a voice recognition system. And his solution was actually being brought by this company to go to Las Vegas to be showcased in the Computer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. Our 14-year-old boy, right? And then, and because we uncovered him, he was doing audition, but we uncovered him. And I think, Jacqueline, you know this. We took him through our Digital Maker Movement program. We give him exposure, how to do pitching. So now if you meet him, if I can find where he is, you will find a huge difference from where he was. He was kena marah dengan mak dia sebab buat, tengah tengok on the computer. And he thinks that he is different because, he's not interested in all the things that parents traditionally would be interested. But now he has blossomed. And now he is our digital innovator. He is going to be a top digital innovator for the country.
Inshallah.
Mark my words, inshallah.
Cikgu, kita in injury time, but we need to hear from our teachers. Teachers that will survive the digital disruption.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Yazid bin Muhammad Sharif. I'm teacher from Madrasah Bentong. So first I would like to thanks to all the parents yang bawa anak-anak datang sini. Madrasah Bentong is run the technical program. So for Form 1, we already teach our student to the coding, programming, microcontroller, drone and such as thing lah. So when
ada digital maker hub kan?
Bentong, Madrasah Bentong is one of MDEC digital maker hub. So bila kita dah perkenalkan dia, bawa dia main drone, then tunjukkan dia to show them how 3D printer print an object, then kita bagi practical, we give them a Lego, then dia movekan Lego tu buat simple programming, then movekan Lego to forward, reverse, dia jadi macam minat. And at the last, the student come to me and, teacher boleh tak kalau kami nak study dekat sini? Yang some of the yang nak jadi doktor tadi. So I think the most important thing, parents kena expose benda-benda macam ni, digital ni kepada student, kepada anak mereka.
Kalau macam tu kan, dia maknanya doesn't mean that being a doctor is not good. Bukan maknanya itu.
Ya,
Tapi
betul,
kita
betul.
bagi kita exposure. Jadi mungkin yang nak jadi 80% jadi doktor tu, mungkin it's not really dia minat. Cuma dia tak tahu that you can become a drone controller, traffic controller. You can become an AI scientist, right? Tapi kalau dia nak jadi doktor pun, it's important kita kena bagi dia foundation in computer science and computational thinking and digital technology. Because remember, if your interest is just in medicine, your job will not be so hot. But if your interest is in medicine and technology, you can become a mixed reality surgeon that we talked about. And then maknanya dia punya job tu will be even higher value because digital technology is going to be architect ke. You could be an architect who understands virtual reality. You could be a doctor who understands artificial intelligence.
Correct.
So that is the power of digital technology.
Terima kasih cikgu.
Thank you.
Kalau ada ramai
Terima
cikgu
kasih.
macam ni maju negara. Please sum everything up for us.
You know, don't just be crippled by inaction. Do something. You can even learn coding kalau sekolah masih ada. Learn through YouTube first and then go into competitions. Take the the extracurricular activities. Go and look where our next bus. We have got a digital maker bus that's going throughout the country. So take the initiative and be in control. Don't let other people control, but you be in control, especially to all the young people, because TN50 is about your world. It's about your future. So take it in your own hands.
Boleh kita bagi tepukan yang kuat kepada Datuk Yasmin dan kumpulan beliau di MDEC untuk My Digital Maker. That's all for this year. Hopefully Datuk will grant us a bigger event for next year and we'll see you again next year for My Digital Maker. Good night and goodbye.